Books that will not be for everybody, but are definitely for me. These books are the perfect example of not every book is for every reader. Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. The insufferable nature of June, our protagonist, is my favorite thing about this book and the reason most people dislike it. And as someone who has been in the fiction publishing arena for the last 12 years, there is nothing in this book that is not 100% accurate. This book is special. A Diary of Blood by S.T. Gibson. I know a lot of people who didn't really vibe with this, and that's totally fine. This book is basically my heart and soul, and I will never forget it as long as I live, but I understand if it wasn't for you. There's not a single thing about this book that I would change or that I dislike. Not one thing. Not one thing. How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. People either love this book or they hate this book. There's very few lukewarm feelings about this book, and I obviously love it. It's a riot. It's hilarious. It's ridiculous. And I hear you when you finish this and you're like, what the fuck did I just read? That's also how I felt, but like in a good way, you know? The Helm of Midnight by Marina Lostetter. It's very unique. It's unlike anything else I've ever read. And I can understand if you're jumping into this and you are confused or think it doesn't make sense or think there are too many elements going on. I've heard all of those criticisms and I hear you. I think that's what makes it so good. I love to discover something wholly unique. And I think this trilogy does that. In a world of fantasy sci-fi that all feels similar, this stands out for me. Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This is a villain story similar to Yellowface, which is a villain story. So maybe I just love a villain story. I love Victor. I know that he's not a good guy and I don't care. There seems to be a trend there. The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake is another one that is definitely not for everybody, but that I love. And it is basically about 6 pretentious villains. So I just think this book is really spectacular. But I understand that a lot of people do not like these, and that's okay. So books that are totally for me, that are not for everybody else. What's a book that you love that a lot of people do not?